Good morning. I am going to show you the tutorial as I go through it too, so I can just talk you through some of my thinking. So go ahead and pause my video and watch the video in the tutorial for creating basic part features part 2. So a couple of the differences I noticed in this lesson from SolidWorks is, like he just mentioned, that the extrude cut is in the same as extrude. And I really liked how he explained the blind and symmetric, how symmetric you can basically say, okay, I'm starting from here and then I want to like thicken it in both directions. And then the other thing that he said was Boolean, which is spelled Boolean, and that means there's two options. So it means there's like an if-else in coding. If this, then that. So it's saying like if you want to do a cut or if you want to extrude. So that's where the word Boolean, or you could also look it up. So from here, I guess I click on next lesson. And it is another tutorial. So go ahead and pause and watch. Okay, so that looks a little bit different than SolidWorks because we can color code things. Interesting too, this is a parts tutorial, and as you can see in those glasses, you've got the strap and you also have the lens. So I guess I'll just keep going and see what's next. And another video. So at about 30 seconds in the video, I paused it here, and he just had mentioned how you could select different things from material, and it's very similar to SolidWorks where you can select it in the features toolbar. Also, what's interesting in SolidWorks, we were not choosing a material at all. Eventually, we were going to export it to a 3D file so that we, or a file so that we could print it on the 3D printer. And perhaps maybe even if we do or don't, I don't know, get back to school, perhaps I can take the files and get things printed and mailed to you. So let's hope we can still do our 3D printing, and we're just going to have to use Onshape and export the files from here. All right, so I'm going to keep watching. Go ahead and pause. All right, so I'm at about like a minute 30, and they're talking about the mass properties. So basically the weight of the object that you're using. So this is a cool feature, particularly if you were going to design something like, I know there was a parent that I had talked to who works at, I think at Sikorsky, and they make engine parts for aircraft. So you definitely would want to know the mass because it counts into how much weight people are going to use in the aircraft to fly. And the other thing that they're talking about right here is a mate connector for reference frame. So basically, if you're going to make something and it has parts that go together, so it looks like this back piece here and this front piece maybe were two things, because when they added colors, they had to choose those two things. And it looks like this cylinder in the middle probably is where the blue piece mounts onto there. So if you designed the cylinder and then you designed the opening on this front blue on this blue like plate, you want to make sure that the dimensions are the same, but when you have a mate, like one thing goes into another, then you don't want them to be exactly the same dimension because they can't exist in the same location. So I'm just thinking, for like a simple example, if you take the plug for your Chromebook and you design the plug, well, it has to be a smidge smaller than the hole that you're going to plug it into on the Chromebook, because otherwise it wouldn't fit. So when they're talking about the mate connector for reference, this is where, if you're going to make two parts that go together, you need to understand how they fit together and how the dimensions are very close, but have a little bit of variance or a little bit of change, a little bit of difference, so that they can fit together. And what is interesting, when you look at parts that are designed like with a CNC laser machine, sometimes it can go to like 10,000th of an inch, which is super, super accurate. So it would have to depend on the material and the equipment you have to be able to cut those parts or create those parts. Clearly, the 3D printer that we have at JW is not very precise. So I would not try to design something with a lot of fine details if we're going to be able to print these files. All right, I'm going to continue watching. And I'm going to go on. Okay, so this part is not a video. It looks like they're asking us to practice creating a fully defined sketch and extrude sketch regions to different depths create an extruded part. Not sure if I have to go to the next page, maybe. So step 1, create a new document and be sure that the workspace length unit is set to millimeters. So can I click in here? It doesn't look like I can. Do I have to go to another screen? Maybe you already figured this part out. Begin a sketch on the top plane. Okay, so as I'm recording this, what I have done is only given Screencast the option to record my tab. So I'm going to duplicate this tab just so I can keep this lesson open, but you can keep this lesson open yourself in 2 different tabs. And then what you're going to do, so if you keep this one, and then if you go up to the top and you right click or 2-finger click on the trackpad, you can just click duplicate the tab. And then from here, it looks like in order to follow these directions, we need to open up a document. So to do that, I'm going to click on the Onshape icon in the upper right. And then I went to, how did I get there? I think I went to Onshape again. And then I went to My Dashboard. And I did this just a second ago before I unclicked pause. This is my training dashboard. I don't want that. I want my hopefully you had an easier time than me. Back to Onshape. There we go. And it is loading. Okay, so once mine loads, hopefully yours looks similar to mine. I have my Onshape and I have my team, and in my team I have our class. And in our class, we can create a document, and I'm going to call this parts. I'm going to tab over here. It is called Creating Basic Part Features Exercise Extrude. Part Features Exercise Extrude. That's what I'm going to call it. And so now it should load. And it did say when we were sketching, hover over an icon in the toolbar to learn more about that feature. Okay, got it. It said to sketch. We're learning in the other tab. Thank you. On the top plane. So I think we can click top here. And then it says to sketch using the pen. And then let's see what it says. It says create a new document. Be sure the workspace length unit is set to millimeters. So let's make sure that is set to millimeters. And I don't remember how to do that. Do you guys remember? I'm going to pause it till I remember. All right, found it. So you go to the 3 dashes that are called document menu, and you click on workspace units, and default we're going to change that to millimeters, because in our learning center in my other tab that I've left open that you cannot see in my recording, it says create a new document and be sure that the workspace length unit is set to millimeters. Begin a sketch on the top plane. Note, for the best learning experience we recommend using 2 browser windows, which is what we're doing. One to follow this exercise and the other for working in Onshape. All right, so I already chose the top plane and it is in millimeters. So then I'm going to click next slide. So I am now on slide 2 of 10 in the tab that you cannot see, but hopefully you can see in your other tab. It says create the sketch as shown using lines, circles, a center point rectangle, and a construction line. Wow, that's a lot for our first drawing. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 circles. I don't know how many, I don't know how big they are. And a construction line. Okie dokie. I'm going to pause it here. Okay, I don't know what you guys did, but I'm gonna try to use the circle. Where is the circle? Yes, thank you. Search tools. I don't know what the circle is. I don't want a circular pattern. I don't want a circular pattern. Sketch one. I don't know what happened. So what I did is I clicked on sketch, and then I clicked on sketch plane, and then I have clicked top, and now the toolbar is here. So I'm going to start with a center point circle, and I'm going to see if I can. Oh, it's just like SolidWorks, where that little pencil icon pops up when I'm at the origin. The origin is the center. So I think there was a smaller circle, and then there was a bigger circle around it. I'm going to draw another one. Ah! Where did it go? Sketch. Sketch a plane. Select a sketch plane. I'm selecting the top plane. And I want to add a circle. Try again. And then I want another circle. Can I draw another one? Now it's drawing them. I don't know. Okay, well, I don't know if this is right, but I did sketch one, and that was my first circle, and then I did sketch two, and that was the second circle. So now for sketch three, I'm going to do a third circle that was like over here. It was smaller. And I guess we have to do another circle. And I'm going to go back to the other tutorial, and that's kind of what it looks like. And it says to add a rectangle and a center line. So I'm going to add the rectangle. The rectangle goes through the small circle and not the big circle in the middle. I think it looks like that. And then it has two lines. I don't know if I'm doing this right or not. I don't know if you guys did this differently or what. And I think I want it to, it said you want it to like touch the outside of the circle, so it looks like it's highlighted. And we'll do another one. So I waited until, you see that there's two icons. I think that means that it's tangent, which means it only touches the outside edge, does not cross into the circle. Okay. And then I think that was the construction line. So let's go hover. I don't know how this works. Huh. Maybe we should have done a different tutorial first. All right, I figured it out finally. It's a construction line, and it's a line. They have to both be highlighted. So it looked like their construction line was from the center to up here somewhere. And then it has the same exact thing on the other side over here. So we need another. I don't know if I'm even doing this right. I don't know if you guys did it differently. So let's see. Sketch. We need another thing. It's loading. Well, at the top plane. I want another circle. See, now it's letting me draw two circles. I don't understand why it didn't let me do that before. Oh, and it let me move it that time. I might have to go back and redo this whole thing. All right, here I go again. So I'm going to go to sketch. I'm going to sketch plane. I'm going to do the top plane. And I want to look at it from the top plane. So I'm on the top plane. Great. And I want to start with a circle in the center. So that's the first one. And then, I don't know. There it goes. I got another one. And there was a littler one over here. And oh, maybe it's just my Wi-Fi was glitchy. And then there was a bigger one around it. And then there was one over here. And there was a bigger one around it. And there was, I'm going to turn off the circle. There was a rectangle that was through the small one, not through the big one in the middle. Turn off the rectangle, turn on the line, and there was a line that was from the top of this circle to the top of that one. And I do notice the tangent turned on for that line. I'm going to do another line over here. Let's see the tangent turning on. And there was another line from the top of this circle to here. And from this circle. Doesn't look exactly the same. But if I go to, oh, I need a construction line in the middle. So I'm still in lines. It's got to be construction line. So I'm going to go from the center up there somewhere. That's what they had. Now I'm going to go to the next slide, and the next slide is telling me, this is slide 3. It says the lines should be tangent to all 3 circles. Be sure to include tangent relations to the lines that meet the circles in pair A, which are the outer circles. So over here, I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to turn on the tangent, and then I'm going to click this, I think. Maybe it needs to be, delete that line. If I do tangent line, whoops. Turn off the line, click on it, delete it. And this here, it says it's tangent. How about this one? That says it's tangent. This one says it's tangent. And this one says it's tangent, so it doesn't look like it though. See how these are in different spots? Well, delete that line, tangent line. Line. There it goes. I know this is not the right size. So I'm going to go back to the other slide, and it tells you the size, I think, in one of these. Select the center point of these circles and the construction line. Slide 4. So select, select, select. Then what? Add the dimensions shown. Well, at this point, I think I've worked long enough for today, and when you get frustrated, I would recommend that you take a break, and I'm going to take a break from this and then pick up from it maybe this afternoon so I can post a video for you tomorrow. If you have more progress than me, by all means, feel free to share your progress so we can figure out how to use this thing so we can make our 3D files. So I can have you guys send me your files, and then I will print the stuff at school and get those to you.